Hello, everyone. My name is Oscar. I'm in Section 2 Criminology of Professor Arcon's class, and today's discussion we're going to be doing Cesar Lombroso's trait theory and my personal opinions on it. While I think Lombroso was close to something appearing as a legitimate criminological theory, I think as his work was written, I believe he was wrong. I do not believe there is any sort of connection between physical traits in terms of things like left-handedness or something like that being associated with criminal behavior. Rather, I think he was closer in terms of finding something genetic with criminal behavior. And what I mean more specifically about that is things like mental illness or even certain physical traits, or that may not be even genetic, but something physical about the person is indirectly, or sometimes in other cases directly, responsible for their criminal behavior. More specifically, I think of certain cases of certain violent people, excuse me, in particular. The first thing I thought of when I thought of is there a physical thing, a tangible physical trait that would, excuse me, that would equate to criminality is I think of the UT sniper, a man who was trained in the military, went to the clock tower at the University of Texas at Austin, and began firing at people. What happened was when they opened his head in an autopsy, they found that he had a really large tumor in an area that would associate with that. Basically, the tumor being there is scientifically associated with more violent behavior. I think as technology develops and we're able to see things like brain scans and stuff like that, we can more accurately see the physical things, the physical traits or physical aspects of a human that could be associated with criminal behavior. However, I don't think certain things like skin color, height and weight, or body type, as he described his different body types for men and women, being associated with different levels of crime. I don't see that. I don't see any evidence to support that. Within just my studies here at SAM, I'm currently in Professor Warren's violent offenders class, where he talks at length about his time as a sociologist within the prison system and how he didn't see any sort of he didn't see too much of a factor between size and criminal behavior, as some smaller individuals were physically violent, while other larger individuals were not as capable of violence and were in for other crimes. I do also see the connection between gender or sex and criminal behavior, as almost all violent offenders are male, and I do believe there's some sort of connection there. I would not go as far as to say that that is cultural. I would probably more closely align with Lombroso on that point, where we see men kind of something genetic about men predisposing them to violent or criminal behavior. I think that might have something to do with testosterone. I do not have very full-fledged thoughts on this, but in summation, I think that Lombroso was close to the truth. I don't think his writings or his beliefs were as extreme as some people. I saw him described as a eugenicist. I don't believe that. I just think he was not as close. He was not close to the full truth. He did not have the full truth.